surrounded by turkeys right now. I don't know if you can hear them putting. If I was able to move, you could see them right behind me. I'm squirrel hunting. I'm in a good spot. But I'm surrounded by turkeys. Now, when it's turkey season, I won't be able to find one of these turkeys, even though there's probably 20 of them right behind me. Alright guys, I'm going to make this pretty quick because I'm running out of daylight here, but I got set up tonight. This is mostly just evening that I'm going to listen to where these birds are roosting tonight, and then hopefully set up on them in the morning. That being said, directly underneath me and all around me there is a ton of turkey sign. So I went ahead and set up our homemade blind that we made in the last video. Directly behind the camera here. I'll show you that in a second, but this is loaded down with turkey signs, so I'm going to set up some decoys right here and listen, call a few times, and try to figure out in this big hardwoods here where these turkeys are going to be roosting. So stay tuned. Maybe we'll get lucky, but we'll definitely hear or see some turkeys. So I'm crouched down between some fallen trees, and I got actually a big dead tree in front of me here, kind of shading me. Out here in this low swampland hunting turkeys. I'll show you my setup in just a second, but before I got any turkeys coming in, I wanted to make a quick mention of something that's going to help me out on this hunt. As you can see from just looking behind me, this is super thick. It'd be super easy to shoot a bird and lose it in here. Anybody that's ever wounded a bird knows exactly what I'm talking about. They don't bleed like whitetail do. If most people are compare it to whitetail because that's what most people hunt. But there's certain species of animals that just don't bleed. They're hard to track. It's really hard to even do like a track job where you're just looking at leaves turned over and stuff, because when a turkey runs, it's not the same as when a deer runs. They're not going to leave mud on top of leaves. They're not going to leave all this crazy stuff. First of all, a lot of times you shoot them and they will fly, 100 yards before they'll land. So how are you going to track that? Well, I got your answer right here. A lot of you guys are already doing this, but those of you that aren't, I got a string tracker on my bow here, and that just ties to the front of your arrow. This is a string tracker that a buddy of mine makes, and his company is Omnivore Homestead and Quivers, and they make awesome leather products. I mean, you can see the quality in that. It's great. I used it all through deer season, throughout, anytime it was raining, this was on my bow. Because once again, when it's hard to track animals, you need an edge up, and this white string is extremely easy to see, and you can put thicker string in here than this. Okay, the one thing that I hear a lot of people say is they're worried that it's going to affect their arrow flight. Well, out to 20 yards, I can tell you from experience, this does not affect my arrow flight at all. I shoot with a tab, and I shoot 3 under. Yeah, he makes these tabs as well. These things are fantastic, best tabs I've shot. And these hats, I mean, I buy his products because I absolutely love what they're putting out. They're a small family out of Florida, and I think that they're really good people, so I'm going to continue to support them. Anyways, like I said, a lot of people are worried about these string trackers affecting their arrow flight. It just doesn't happen like that. It doesn't work like that. I don't know what it would do out past 20 yards because I have not shot this out past 20 yards. Most of the hunting that we do is within 20 yards. I can hear a hen out in the swamp. Anyways, that's just one tip I wanted to show you guys. When you're hunting in lowland like this, that's just covered in thick overgrown brush and everything like that, it's going to be really hard to find a turkey. So being able to just follow a string works out really good. Now I'll show you guys my setup just real quick here, because if I got a turkey out there, I don't want to spend too much time talking. I'm sure you guys would rather see me shoot a turkey than sit here and talk. So all around me is fallen down trees. Got a big fallen down tree right here. And I'm hunting out of this brush blind right here that I put together on a different video. And my turkey decoy setup is right here. Those look pretty good. And as you can see, the turkeys can see a long ways from out there. So they should be able to see my decoys. It's all low wetland down in there. That's my setup. Let's see if we can't shoot a turkey. something just a little bit different. Instead of the longbow, we're going to be hunting with this Flintlock musket, or a fowling piece. And this has been on my bucket list for a great many years now. This was my grandpa's, and he actually really liked these, as well as the Kentucky muskets, which are a long barrel as well, but they're actually rifled. They usually shoot a smaller caliber, whereas this is a 60 caliber. So it's, you know, the barrels, the opening is the size of like a shotgun. A Kentucky musket is usually, you know, 54 caliber, smaller quite a bit, and a lot of them were just squirrel guns, you know, 32 calibers. There's actually a turkey behind me right now. I heard a hen anyway. Anyway, that means we probably should wrap this up. Anyway, I just wanted to explain this a little bit. I built my grandpa a hickory bow back with deer sinew, and when I brought him the bow and he was tickled to death with it, he gave me this gun as kind of a trade, I guess, which I thought was just awesome. Unfortunately, my grandpa just passed away on Easter morning, and I think that he would think it was pretty awesome if I took this Flintlock out, loaded some shot in it, and shot a big gobbler with it. Okay, so this is a Flintlock, so we need to do one more thing. A little closer so I can explain this a little bit. This is your flint here. This is your steel. So any of you guys that have made fire with flint and steel, same basic idea, except for there's a pan here that's gonna hold some fine gunpowder. This is triple F, just super fine stuff. So we're gonna put that in the pan. Close the pan. The pan's closed. I gotta cock this back. When this fires, it'll hit the pan. It'll hit the flint, sorry, above the pan, sending a spark into the pan, which is gonna send a spark, igniting the black powder, which is gonna ignite the powder in the barrel and shoot the shot. Much like a cannon, just a small cannon. It's pretty windy out. One last thing I wanted to explain about this is, since how it's been rainy today and it's really moist in the air and stuff, the chances of just having a flash in the pan and it not igniting the powder is pretty high, which is very frustrating. It's so frustrating. But that's just a chance we take, I guess, when we hunt with equipment that's not up to date. Flash in a pan, I should probably explain that. A flash in a pan is just when the spark hits the steel, or the flint hits the steel, sending a spark. It ignites the pan, but the powder is too moist in the barrel to do anything, so it just makes a big plume of smoke and doesn't fire. We're gonna cross our fingers that doesn't happen, and let's try to get a turkey.
everybody wanted to see me get it done with the old smoke pole, so that's what I did. I got it done. I'm going to show you guys the situation a little bit here. Okay, so as you can see, all the way around this field, there is just not much for cover. It's just short, tall grass. That's where I started. Up there where the barn is up there is where I started. And I came running down and I ran on the back side of this hill all the way around. Running till I was on the back side of that hill. And then I did it all again. I ran back to where I started, seen them coming my way, or seen them coming back the way they were. I ran all the way back, my beer drinking self, all the way back here, and then belly crawled up to the top of this little knoll here, and there's a low spot I can see in the camera. You can't catch it, but that's where I was laying. And the turkey that I shot is right around 38 to 40 yards, probably closer to 38. And he's right here. How cool is that, guys? Alright guys, here he is, cleaned up a little bit more. It's a really nice turkey, I'd say. Probably, 11-inch beard. It's pretty roughed up. I don't know if he's been fighting or he's got a couple broken wing feathers, and his beard's been, it looked like it was chewed up with a weed eater, so he's got nice spurs on him, but I wanted to clean him up a little bit and do more of a calm down version of this. I also adjusted my camera a little bit so it looks a little better. I didn't realize that my camera was on the wrong setting for lighting. But so here he is, guys. Here's the tom I just got with this old fowling piece, Flintlock fowl or whatever you want to call it, smooth bore musket. It did the job. Every bit of this turkey's gonna go to use. His wing feathers are gonna go on arrows. Those of you guys that know me know I build my own arrows, bows and things. So a lot of his feathers are gonna go towards that. His tail here, his beautiful tail fan, that's gonna go on my wall along with his beard. I'll probably do something with his spurs. And all of this meat is going to be smoked and put in our freezer, and my family's going to eat it. We love to eat wild game. That's majority of all we eat is wild game. And now we're growing a lot of our own vegetables as well. But man, what an awesome hunt this was. What an awesome day it is. Sorry about the slight breeze, guys, but it feels good to me right now. Probably doesn't sound great in the camera though. Just an absolutely beautiful spring day. I would say it's probably 11 o'clock. Caught these turkeys out in an open field and went to work on them and got it done. Put in one heck of an adventure to get this bird on the ground. And something else. This thing, I watched the footage. This gun performed great. I didn't have much of a delay as far as flash in the pan and then a delay before ignition. As soon as my flint hit steel, this gun was going off. That's just a testament to some good black powder and a well-made gun that's well tuned in. Man, what an awesome way to kill a turkey. I've killed them every year with longbows before this. This was just a bucket list thing. And I've got to tell you that I'm probably going to be switching 50-50. I love shooting them with my bow, so I'm not going to quit doing that. But I think 50% of the time I'm going to be hunting these turkeys with this big old Flintlock right here. Because that was just way cool. And I don't know if I'll be successful every time like I was today, but what a cool way to get a bird with an old flintlock like this. If you haven't done it, I suggest that you get out, get yourself one of these, and try to get a bird with it. Like I said before, there was no decoys involved with this hunt, even though I've set up time and time again this year with decoys. This particular hunt, no, I left my decoys behind. No calling involved. I couldn't call because I left my call behind. This was just a serious stock up, a lot of running, a lot of covering ground, and getting close to this bird, close enough to get him with this old smoke pole here. Definitely a adventure I'll never forget. An adventure that I'm going to tell a lot of my friends around the campfire, and it's one that's going to go in history. But this gun here came from my grandpa. He just passed away on Easter, and I built him a hickory bow, longbow, and in return, in trade for that, which I didn't expect him to trade me anything, but when I brought him the bow, he gave me this gun. I think he knew that I always kind of liked it, and he was big into shooting these flintlocks, and he was pretty darn good at it. So my grandpa would definitely be looking down on this situation right now, and he's probably up there clapping, laughing, and having himself a good strong drink, telling all of his buddies about it. This has been Matt Eldred's Wild Point of View. We're going to catch you guys on the next adventure. I think we're going to be planting or shooting bows or something. You guys have a great weekend.